Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Leo, we have the Six of Discs, which has everything to do with success. Things are coming together. It's a wonderful and radiant feeling. I can just absolutely envision how excited you are when your endeavors start to really come together. All right, so let's take a look. We're going to see what the tea leaves have to say. What is this Six of Discs, Pentacles, Panacles, coins, whatever you want to call it. I know sometimes I get it. People do not like that I don't call them pinnacles. I'm not calling them that. I'm going off of the Thoth system, so I do call them discs. I know. But we're going to see how that energy kind of plays in with the energy of these tea leaves. Okay. So, right here we have a person who is kind of standing on a mound. You can see right there in the center. There's their head, their body, their arm. They're holding what looks like a bird. Okay, so we have a message. This is somebody who's sending you a message. We also have corn, and we have somebody that looks like they're mourning. Over here, it looks like we have a person who's getting on a boat. Here's the head of the person wearing some kind of headdress or hat. The body, here's the boat. And then we have two mermaids. We also have, it looks like the side profile of a person. You can see the nose, the mouth, the eye. So I feel like within the family or maybe your household, this could be like a roommate or something. I feel like there has been a return to maybe some kind of risky behavior. And I say that because we have the mermaids, which are like the sirens, right? These are those mythological creatures that sing beautiful songs, and they get those silly sailors to turn their boats and go towards the beautiful music, and you know, it takes them to their ruin, right? They hit the rocks, their ship starts to sink, and so on. We all know that story, right? So I feel like this is a person in your life who is really, and it might even be you. I mean, let's be real, Leo. It could be you. We all struggle with our things, right? But kind of backsliding, slipping back into old behaviors, doing things that are maybe kind of out of character, maybe are risky, maybe kind of, you know, put everybody into this little bit of chaos, right? And now I do have a background in addiction, so this is kind of, I'm skewed in this way, but it does feel something akin to that. Right? But I don't know that this is like intoxicants so much as, and let me just see. I want to go over here. Where did it go? I saw the word loan when I was first starting. Where did it go? I have to look this way. There it is in here. It says loan. L-A-O-N. Or L-O, yeah, L-O-A-N. Oh, there's a 17, 17. Oh, and look at this guy. He looks stone-faced. Is it like I And then a stone face. Not happy. I'll tell you when I find it. It'll come. The thing about tea leaves is you see things and then you turn even just a little bit and you don't see it anymore. You know, so, or if you even shift it, like, it looks different depending on what's going on, right? Like, the lighting, the way that it is sitting. But it is, so I feel like this has, woo, oh, I almost lost it. It feels like this has to do with money. Okay, I'm just going to say that straight up. This is about money, or it feels like it maybe is about money. And, oh, there it is. L-A-O-N, loan. So I wonder if it's like taking out too much money, if they're asking you for a loan, if you are asking somebody for a loan. It's something where it almost kind of feels like you have to like pump the brakes a little bit. Now, we have this person who looks pretty sorrowful over the corn. The corn is very much like when we see the fish on here. It is a symbol of abundance, right? Of resources coming in. And so when we see that, and we see a person kind of mourning it, yeah, it feels like something has been depleted, right? And the corn to me, for whatever reason, I relate this more to a collective resource. So like a community, like if something happens and the electricity goes out, or they get snowed in and the goods can't get into town. This is the kind of energy that I'm thinking of, right? So I feel like there is this worry, and I think that it really is about like the family unit. This worry that this like misspending might start to really become detrimental for the collective, and really kind of affecting those basic necessities of food, water, heat, lights, this kind of thing. So I think that this is kind of a place where, it's kind of like, let's kind of pump the brakes here a little bit. Things need to be evaluated, because this is kind of on you're on a path to things really starting to get tricky, getting more and more complicated. And I don't think that you are here for that. This is not how you are trying to live your life. So I do feel like that you are in really the part of this cycle where you're making the tough decisions. You are really compelling yourself. Now, if it's you again, like the person that is maybe spending wildly, or, not being careful, or whatever, risking things a little bit. This is the time to choose against those impulses. Now, if this is somebody else within the family, within the household, this is where we start to have to kind of figure out, like, how are we going to have this discussion? What am I going to have to do? You know what I mean? Like, it comes down to things sometimes like shutting off the bank account, or whatever. I mean, I haven't really had a lot of experience with this. I'm pretty much always been broke as an adult. But I can imagine, right? I've dealt with other kinds of addiction in my friendships and my relationships and within self. So I understand the concept, right? But it's not easy. Holding somebody accountable, putting in those kind of boundaries and all of that. So this is not an easy place to be in. But you, Leo, are much fortified, And it's not something that is going to be the end all. Okay, this is just the beginning of some work that needs to get done, right? And it's not ideal, but I feel you really being able to kind of get it together. Now we have two people who look like they have smiley faces, kind of almost trickstery. You can see the eyes, the little mouth. Here's like the whole face, the head, and then we have over here another one, the eyes, the mouth. So I do feel like as this situation kind of comes into a place of stability, which, yeah, we have that success energy. So I feel like you're going to figure this thing out. It's going to be a distant memory very quickly. You will not forget, but it won't feel so dire, right? I feel you reconnecting with kind of your humor. I mean, really, that's what it is. I feel like, you know, you have been so serious for so long and so busy and trying to just get things sorted that I don't think you've been laughing very much. I don't think that you have been enjoying things as much as you maybe would like. So I do see this turning towards really kind of honoring that part of yourself where you are somebody who really enjoys kind of, well, and it doesn't even just have to be like comedy, the humors in general, the arts, right? Theater and painting and sculpting and, you know, immersive experiences and music and all of these things. So I do feel you kind of getting back to that core thing, right? And enjoying, beginning to enjoy again. With all the stress that had been kind of building up and then being proactive about that, I really feel like you get through this gateway and when you get on the other side, it feels like a breath of fresh air. Like I can finally just stop and breathe for a minute. Okay, and that feels so good, so good. So I do. Now we also have, it looks like a person standing here and they have a bow and arrow. So we really have that lunar energy as well. And I feel like this one kind of is about courtship because we have another person here standing this way. There's a check mark next to them. So I do feel this like continued sense of pairing, right? Coming together, unification, but also a little bit of the chase. And now this might be a relationship that you've been in for 30 years, but there's still that fun and playful spirit, that flirtation and, you know, kind of wooing one another. And if this is a new relationship or somebody that you are kind of pursuing, I see them as being quite receptive. This feels like something that is pretty balanced, okay? Now, I want to go over here and look. We have an F. We have an F. And this one looks like the Dipper, right? The Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, a Dipper. If you don't know what a Dipper is, it is like a ladle, okay? It's like it's like a little cup with a stick on it, right? And you put it in the water and you get the water up and you drink from it, or you pour it into the bucket or whatever. And these that kind of go back to the olden days when people had wells and things like that. And so for me, it makes me think of, there is I think it's in the Prophet. It's a Khalil Gibran poem. And I believe it's in the Prophet, and it's his meditation on love, I believe. But he talks about not being able to fill each other's cups. We have to fill our own cups. We can share, we can reciprocate, we can live in as much equality as we can, but we cannot pour all of ourselves into somebody else's cup to keep them going. So I do feel like seeing this, it tells me that you are filling your own cup. And how do we do that? It's by taking care of ourselves. It's by doing the things that we need to do, by doing the things that we desire to do, okay? This is about the self-work. This is about that spiritual alchemy, okay? And so I feel you really getting to this place of having so much, right? And I even imagine at this point, you really coming to the understanding that like I have so much to offer. And maybe at times you've not felt that way. You've, you know, kind of lamented in the fact that you didn't make more money, or you didn't go to the best school, or maybe you did and you got out and you haven't used your degree the way that you thought you would, or, you know, whatever it is. But I think that now, in this time, you are giving yourself the love, the attention, the confidence that you really deserve, right? Because we don't all have to live by that plan, or whatever plan, you know, our parents had for us, or our communities had for us, or, you know, media kind of shows. We all live differently. We all have different paths. They are all valid, okay? So I do see you really coming into this place of feeling pretty confident. And I think that's super important, most definitely. Now, we also have our Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And I just want to kind of ask the cards, what are the next few weeks going to be like as we come up to the end of the solar year, right? What are things going to be like? Okay, so we're going to do probably like 3 to 6 cards. We have caution. Okay, so caution, number 1. Okay, somebody who is maybe kind of showy, kind of really into promoting an illusion, a veneer of themselves, and to be cautious of that. Now, yes, they're very controlling. That's the energy. Very controlling, very like type A, very obsessed with image. I don't think this is you. I know. Like stereotypically, this is what we would say, like maybe a Leo is a little bit like, right? But I don't feel like this is you. I feel like this is somebody else in your life, okay? Birth, health, drama. Okay, so I feel like this person, okay, drama. That's how they like operate. There's always something going on with them. They're always having some huge ordeal, right? Or if it's some little thing, they're gonna make it seem like it's just so big, so serious, so important. Well, for you, you're going through a rebirth, okay? You're going through a reorganization of your life. Reprioritizing things for yourself. And ultimately, this is so important for your health. The stress in our lives is out of control. Even if you live under the best circumstances, there are still so many stressors. So if you are living in an environment or around people or at a job that is just, you know, constantly got you in your feelings, getting upset, feeling anxiety, it is not good for your health. You know that, I know that, we all know that, right? So I do feel you being very proactive about, yeah, kind of standing your ground with this person, or really putting up those kind of big walls, boundaries, okay? If you can't come around and have something nice to say, or, you know, tone it down a little bit, can't have you around all the time, right? We all have those people in our lives that they're always coming around with bad news. It's always something. And the minute you see them on your phone, it's like you are holding your breath. Oh, great. What is going on now? If I answer this phone, if I look at that text, they're going to know. And then I have to get involved. And it's not It's not ideal, right? So I do see you putting up those boundaries for sure. Now, let's do our lucky numbers. Number 69. Oh, 69. 89. 69, 89, 44. All right. Now we'll finish off with our Wild Offering Oracle cards. These are from Tasha Silver, and they are so beautiful. Okay, and we just stop where it feels right. 2 of them. I guess we got to do 2. I pulled 2. All right. Number 1. Independence. The more you learn to feed yourself on the inside and care for the inner child, the more freestanding you become. Help me feed and love this inner child, dear Lord. Help me feed and love this inner child, dear Lord. All right, now we have intention. Intention is simply allowing the will and the mind to align and move in harmony. May I always focus on the highest. My intention is that all God's wishes for me come true. My intention is that all God's wishes for me come true. Beautiful. All right, Leo, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you would like to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. I read all of my comments, and I love to get to know you. So go ahead and do that. All right. I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk real soon. Good night. Good night. Good night.